What's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 248, and we're recording on August 14, 2023. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
As a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. All right, we have a very special after hours today, right?
Oh,
So I'm sure a lot of you have heard in the news about the 25th World Scout Jamboree in Korea and how much of a mess it is and how they tried to like placate everyone by doing a K-pop concert all of a sudden.
Oh boy.
Warren has laid out exactly what happened, like, and in terms of K-pop, what's going on there. So that's what we're going to be covering in the after hours because it's a little bit too substantial to just cover in the news section. So that's what we're going to be doing there.
Yep.
And then Warren is having another Twitch stream this week, right?
Yep. This will be on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time ish. If you want to figure out what we're doing, come to the Discord, come to the Instagram, follow us so you know when you go live. This week we're going to be covering some of the songs that we didn't cover this year. So if you have a song that you want me and or Anita to talk about, come to the Discord, submit those songs. There's like a thread for it on the SojuTalk channel.
Yep.
Anita's gonna be there for a part of it.
Yeah.
Are you excited, Anita?
Yes, I already started seeing some of the suggestions.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm liking what I'm seeing. Yes.
All right. Okay. I'll do that.
All right. Big new releases. We are covering 4, but 2 of them are from the same artist and they're pre-releases. So the first one, Yuri Taxi, regular release. And then we got the double pre-releases of BTS's V, Love Me Again, and Rainy Days. And then finally, long time no see, we're covering Eric Nam with Don't Leave Yet.
Ooh.
That's surprising.
Wow.
So the first song, though, Yuri Taxi. She is from Wake One. Her last 2 songs were Love Shh. In Korean, it's actually pronounced Love Shit, technically, right? Like, that's just how it is. And then Glassy. I remember both of those. Okay. We have a Yuri song. We got Taxi. I feel like it's pretty much in line with the other Yuri stuff, right? Like,
Not too different. Yeah.
I feel like the main difference is we got like that bass line thing going on, right? With the piano, with the bass, whatever that is.
The bum 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 bum. That the walk up thing.
I kind of like it. I liked it. I don't know. I thought it was fun.
That like riff gives it more of like a funky vibe, I think, compared to the other tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you think about like what was like the first couple songs she did, like like Glassy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Here's my issue, right? Like,
Okay.
the song is fine. I like Yuri. Song is fine. Taxi's okay.
Okay.
It's not a bad song by any stretch. But I don't think it's a great song by any stretch of the imagination either. Like,
It's very safe.
it's safe.
Very safe.
Like, I
Very
like Yuri. The song's fine.
friendly.
It's okay. Taxi's fine. But am I going to be like, Taxi, song of the year, Taxi, gonna make Yuri pop off? I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Feels pretty. I don't want to say bland, but like at the same time, it is the kind of K-pop that we have like become very familiar with in the past like 3-4 years in the I don't know, like post-COVID era, especially when we had the whole disco thing pop off. This one leans a lot less disco than some of those songs, but the vibe is there. It's definitely a lot more funky than like the previous songs, like you mentioned. And I like that there's like a little riff with all of these. Like that's what it was with Lovable as well. So that's pretty cool. But on the other hand, in terms of like production, I do agree with you. It's like, yeah, it feels pretty safe. If anything, it feels a lot more safer than the previous ones as well, because the song itself, this is a good and a bad thing, right? On a good end, this song feels a lot less lower in terms of range, and that's really good because it helps Tweety really like sing really comfortably. Like in the couple of the former songs, and especially in the iZone tracks as well, I felt like she was playing the lead of a main role, like the main lead vocal. So she kind of has to reach towards the top in terms of her range, and I felt like she was kind of reaching above her range a little bit. This one, I feel like she's a lot more comfortable. On the other hand, it does come at a cost because for most people who listen to pop music, high or pitch means more energy. You know, it's not a direct correlation, but I don't know. What do you think, Adira?
Interesting. I was gonna say that to me the sound, it did sound funky, but as far as like safe, right, and like the general vibe of it being like general audience friendly, like nothing too out there or shocking, it kind of reminded me of like 2010s more Western pop. I was thinking along the lines of like Jessie J. Do you guys remember?
Ooh.
Jessie J. Domino was the song that I thought of.
Jessie J. Domino.
And like not even, it's not exactly the same sound, but like Meghan Trainor back in the day as well, which like it's very like upbeat, right? Very audience friendly. But it's not necessarily like at least for this song, I didn't find it super catchy. Like I feel like it was really enjoyable to listen to, but I didn't quite remember it as well as I think I should have. Maybe because a lot of the imagery that she has going on nowadays is kind of similar. Like if I think of her music videos previously as well, it's kind of around the same realm. Very bright colors, a lot of different sets, great styling and everything. I just feel like it's nothing standing out.
See,
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic. Warren and I both agree, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I
100%.
think about that song, and if you had to say, describe to me the Yuri Taxi song, right?
Yeah.
Like, give me what is the point you remember? For me, it's just that like that bass piano riff. That's about it, right? That's the only thing that I really remember in my head. The rest of it, it's like, I mean, she sang well, right? But like, that's not like a specific thing that I would remember about this from the song, right?
Also, if you go back to what Anita said, like she gave us a bullet list of like what characterizes this song, right? Like colorful, it's these nice outfits, you know, lots of different sets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's K-pop.
Yeah,
That's
right. It's like it's I don't want to say generic, but I feel like there's nothing that's making it distinguishable, right, amongst everything that you could consume in K-pop, right?
Right. Like let's give a counterexample, right? Rather than just talking about like these, you know, these imaginatives, right? Because if you look at her peers, take for instance, Cheona. She has developed this kind of image, right? With like smartphone or smiley, and you can kind of characterize who she is. The aesthetic, it's very Y2K. She's very, you know, very sugary, very happy, very like punky, right. And that kind of, if you Hate Rodrigo, for instance, was the flip side of the same coin in my head, and all of that kind of. You can pick out a couple descriptors to kind of describe who, you know, the kind of music that Cheona does. With Yuri, she's good at singing.
You lagged.
You know, yeah, she's good at singing, but not much more to add on top of that, I think. Yeah.
And I feel like it's not necessarily an issue as far as like her as an artist, because I feel like you can definitely sing. We've seen it in Eyes One. So I feel like it's just an issue of like finding the concept or like the angle for her as a solo artist that is still in the works, maybe. Which is a little frustrating, right? Because she's a good singer.
Here's the thing, right? Yuri has for K-pop, she has a very unique voice. She's very husky.
Yes.
She's got a very bottom-heavy range. If you listen to the song, if you listen with a pair of earbuds, you'll notice that they completely erased her. They got rid of her bottom end in terms of vocals. It almost feels like the mixing engineers and the people directing her how to sing were kind of trying to erase the tonal qualities of what makes Yuri unique. Because I'm listening to this over Love She, and it feels a lot less unique. Like her huskiness is a lot less noticeable in this track. And it feels like that they're just going for the safe route, which, you know, I get it. Safe is typically the safer business choice. But on the other hand, it's not the best choice in the long term, because you got to characterize who she is. You got to characterize who she is as a musical identity, or, you know, her sound. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I was the only one that felt that way, but like over her previous songs.
I agree with you. Whether this does not have to do with the Yuri song, right? It's my general feeling for K-pop these days. Whether I like the song or don't like the song, it should be memorable, right? Like for instance, that AT song with the Cheongyang Gochu line, right? I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I find myself singing singing about the bouncy K-Hot Chili Pepper song. I find myself thinking about it once in a while.
That's
right?
so random, yeah.
No, but something like that. And the Somi song, some people weren't a fan of it, but you will say that chorus is all over the place and is super catchy, right?
Yep.
Like I hear it all the
catchy.
time, all over the place. It's everywhere. I just feel like this Taxi song and the Joyuri music at the moment, it just feels like it's there, it's fine, but like it's not sticky enough, you know? Like there's not too much to latch onto. And I think that's a shame because we know the vocal talent's there. I just feel like they got to do a better job with the song selection or defining what she is as an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame too because I want it to be so good, right? Like, and it is good. It's just like
it's not bad. It's like you know what it could be, or you kind of have an idea of what you wish that it could be, and
like I don't even know what I would want, but I know it's not this to an extent, right? Like,
I feel like if she does like R&B inspired music, she would do really well.
That'd be nice. She could try it out.
Like similar to like Naughty's like Sugarcoat.
Oh.
Like a Y2K. I don't know.
All right, let's move on to the next thing. We got double pre-releases from BTS's V, right? He is from Big Hit. His last song, the only other song he did a bunch of OST songs. Some for Our Beloved Summer, Itaewon Class, Hwarang. So he did drama OST songs. But this is technically the first like solo releases we're getting from him. His album Layover will be released on September 8th. The collection of songs includes 6 tracks, including Rainy Days, Blue, Love Me Again, Slow Dancing for Us, and the piano version of Slow Dancing. V collaborated with Adore's president and executive producer Min Hee-jin for the new album.
Right.
I don't know what I was expecting from the pre-releases for this, but hey, this was kind of chill. Man's out here singing R&B in a cave, y'all. Like, that's kind of right? That was crazy. And then in the second one, he's like, I think regardless of the song, the architecture of the building he's in is kind of funky, right?
It's really cool.
It almost felt like a dystopian world or something, right? The apartment he was in.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Star Wars, like those like little homes in Tatooine.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about both the songs together because it's kind of like, you know, it's a pre-debut package, right? So we got one of the song, Love Me Again, real R&B, right? This is like a straight up B track. And then we got Rainy Days, which, man, I think this is one of the songs that they fit the title so perfectly to the actual music.
Oh, I agree. Yes.
Right? Whatever, I don't know what that's called when you do that, but whatever they did there, it was perfect for calling this song Rainy Days. A little chill. I'm normally someone who's not super into the chill music, but I found both of these songs fine. I thought they were great. I showed off the vocals, got me excited about the solo, right? Many complaints at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I didn't have a ton of expectations for the solo, right? But I did have a concern because I do feel his voice is very on the lower register, and it's not typical, right, in K-pop to be that low. So I was kind of interested, a little worried as to like what direction they might go, if it would be suitable for his tone. But I think this is perfect. I think this fits his tone very, very well. I was getting a lot of vibes of like Daniel Caesar in some of this. And it has to do with the instrumental as well, I want to say. A lot of the minimalist aspect of it was really nice. So I'm excited to see what the title track is going to be like. I'm guessing now that this is the general vibe he wants to go for, which is cool.
I was definitely getting vibes of Never Enough, the last Daniel Caesar album. That's one of my favorite albums of the year, and that's definitely straight modern R&B. Yeah, no, it's super chill, super groovy. The man can sing, and he shows it off here. Love Me Again. There's like a nice guitar riff. Sounds a little bit like Jasmine, if that makes any sense. By DPR Live. There's these nice.
Okay, yeah, I can hear it.
You can kind of hear it too, right? Yeah. Rainy Days is really cool too. There's this jazzy piano loop that kind of like plays throughout the entire song. There's a bit of a change up where it goes towards a higher register, and then it goes back and forth, and it's chopped up in like almost like a hip hop kind of way. All of it super trendy, super cool, super minimal, and super groovy. I don't know. And on top of that, it really gives a lot of open air for this man to really take the center stage in terms of the focus in the song, right?
Yes.
And that's not everybody can do in K-pop. I want to like we got to make sure we understand. Like, I feel like even like most R&B artists these days in Korean music in general, if you give them that much open room in the production, you could probably tell where they kind of struggle a little bit. But not with this guy. Not with this guy. He holds his fort down. It's very bottom heavy. It's like really, really chill. It's great. It's great. And it's not the kind of like high energy you expect from K-pop at all, sure. But in terms of just making a good solid R&B track, it's there. And those two are also like very consistent, cohesive with each other. Really makes me excited for the album too. Yeah. There's a point near the end where both of these tracks have these like saw synth chords that play in the background, kind of sidechain to the kick drum. And having those two similarities really help tie these songs together, because, you know, having similar instruments really help tie together this kind of like lo-fi, jazzy, chill, rainy day kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Or inside of a wet cave kind of vibe. I don't know what he's wearing here, but
yeah, no, the outfit was kind of interesting. At the end of the day, it's 6 minutes, and I was like, the entire time I'm like, damn, this dude's good looking. Like, I knew he was good looking. Like, obviously, V is very good looking. We all know this, right? Everyone knows this. But like during the shots, I was like, this dude's so good looking. What the F?
You know he's good looking because he's wearing like a yellow glittery outfit.
I was like, yo, if I was in Blackpink, I'd like him too.
Oh.
But
we don't talk about that.
I don't know if it's super confirmed or not. You know, whatever. All I'm saying, I saw some photos in Paris, y'all. But talking about like, yo, that's a good looking dude. I love the packaging. It's minimalist. It's like he knows I'm a good singer. I'm a good looking dude. Let's just show everyone. You know, we don't got to do too much here. We can sell it ourselves. Yes. That's essentially what I'm getting from this, right? It's like, we don't got to do too much. We don't have to do too elaborate of a set. I'm good looking. Everyone likes me. I'm a good singer. I'm just going to show all this off. Boom. Right? We got something.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I definitely agree, because I think for him, for this release, I feel like it was very aware in highlighting his strengths, right?
100%.
As an artist, as a performer. So I feel like that was really, really smart. And I don't know how much Minnie Jin had to do with it, but I think it's cool that this came out, because I think it works for him.
So
this man he painted with a baguette though. I don't know how I feel.
Oh right.
That was a little weird. And then we had the whole sequence with the disemboweled like
metal
heads.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know how, that was a little creepy. I'm gonna be honest. I thought the shot was cool. I thought the head that they used was a little creepy.
I don't know why, but it kind of gave me like Dean vibes. Like if he was still alive or around, I feel like this would be the kind of music he'd be doing. I just talked like he's dead, but he's not dead. You know what I mean, though, right?
No, he's not. He's. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah. Fun fact: if you look at the credits for both of these two tracks, the songs have a lot of overlap with the last New Jeans credits.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, both have this person called Free Kind as the main lyricist, who also did take part in Get Up, which we see the kind of connection there. Frank, who wrote OMG, is on here as well.
Yes.
Frank Skoka is on Rainy Days, and Frank Skoka, which we haven't talked too much about. Frankie Skoka, which we haven't talked too much about, was the secondary writer for New Jeans and then the first writer for Super Shy. So it sounds like this Frankie Skoka guy is kind of joining this, I don't know, Adore songwriting party team, group of individuals. And then we have Gigi, who, you know, we've seen a bunch of Simya Kim on the lyrics as well. I don't know, it's really cool.
That part with like the heads going by, it kind of reminded me of like Crooks and Castles, the streetwear brand, how they use that Medusa, the white Medusa sometimes.
Oh man, you're really revealing how old you are right now, you know that?
I know, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
like
no, yeah,
Marble Medusa, like, that reminded me of that. I think Versace uses that imagery once in a while too, like a marble bust,
Yes.
or but it kind of gave me those type of vibes.
Dude, that was a whole aesthetic back in the day.
100%. But yo, Crooks and Castle was like, you gotta be real gangster to wear that back in the day, right? Like that wasn't just like it wasn't like your boy Thug wearing Mark Echo out here, right?
No,
like,
no.
You didn't have any.
It's the one brand you don't touch when you walk into PacSun. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
You look at it and you're like, that ain't for me.
That ain't for me.
I don't think I can pull that off.
I'll go buy my RVCA or whatever.
At the end of the day, I think that these double pre-releases makes me pretty excited. We got about 2-3 weeks for the actual title track to come out, and I feel like I don't know exactly what role Minhee is playing. Maybe in the concept thing, maybe in some of the she's talking to him about the song selection, putting it all together.
Right.
I think that's more her job.
Yeah,
I like what's going on so far. Similar to I like
Very
a lot of the
nice.
packaging that New Jeans have packaged together for us, right? I'm excited. I think this is great. I was like, at a certain point, I had a bit of like BTS solo fatigue. I would say, because, you know, they're all doing it back to back to back pretty much. But I'm pretty excited now for this. I'm more excited than I was a week ago. So
100%. 100%. I agree with you.
okay, let's move on to another solo artist, Eric Nam. Yo, don't
Been a
leave
minute.
yet. So he is at B2M Entertainment, which is a subsidiary of CJ, I believe. And the last 3 songs were Lost on Me, Any Other Way, I Don't Know You Again. Okay, like Eric Nam, we covered it like once before, I think, all the way back in the day. I could be
believe
wrong.
you have.
I
Yeah.
think so. It's been
But
a
like,
while.
I'll put it this way: I don't remember any of his music past "Woo, oh baby, baby." That one, like from back in the day, the one that he also hates because whenever like guests come and sing him, he goes stop, right? So I haven't been super on the Eric Nam like train in the past like
Right.
5 years or
Same.
however many years it's been. I think Eric Nam and talking about this song brings up a good conversation about K-pop artists who either people from groups or people who are solo artists who have branched out internationally, and now their music, is it K-pop? Is it not? It opens up the conversation, right?
Middle area, maybe.
Personally, I think this is a pop track. I don't think this is super K-pop-y in any stretch of the imagination. And I think other artists that fall into that, a lot of the GOT7 solo stuff, right? I don't think a lot of it is K-pop personally. Like, especially like someone like Jackson, right? The crazy stuff he's doing, I don't think it's K-pop. I think he's K-pop when he comes together with GOT7. But I feel like someone like Bam Bam's solo career is distinctively K-pop still, right? Because he sings a lot of his stuff in Korean. So I feel like artists like Eric Nam bring up that kind of debate. That being said, with this song, I liked it as a pop song. I thought it was fine. I didn't remember how good of a singer Eric Nam was. I thought the vocals were good. I thought the music video was the real selling point, though. It was
Yes.
it was funky, right? What was the stuff that was going on?
There was a lot going on. The majority of the music video takes place in like one set, like one scene, right?
The
Where they're
dinner
in
scene,
Yeah.
right?
the dining table set. I don't know what it was about it, but something was slightly eerie about. Maybe it was the lighting or like the way, like the people were acting, or like, I don't know. I found it like a tiny bit disturbing, but
Oh yeah, I think it's meant to be a little creepy.
right?
Yeah.
I think it was. I don't know, it made me pay a lot of attention as to like what was going on, and I feel like the viewer is supposed to be kind of in the perspective of Eric Nam as well, right? Like you're the one who's also confused as seeing what's going on. Very very contemporary style of dancing as well. Very, very interesting. But I think it fit the vibe of the song. I think it kind of elevated some of the more like synthy club like vibe that it had at one point. I think it was around the 2-minute mark where there's a switch in the song and it's reflected in the music video as well with like the lighting and the dancing. So I think it did a good job of complementing it while also making it more interesting.
So my perspective's a little different on all of this.
Oh.
I guess it begins with that I don't consider Eric Nam a K-pop artist. The way I see K-pop
at this point, right? At this point,
no, I don't think I ever would have.
Really?
When I think about K-pop artists, I'm thinking about people who are a product of the K-pop production industry.
Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't a trainee or anything like that anywhere. He is a part of Korean pop music. He does Korean music. Sure. Yeah. Am I gonna group him in with Girls' Generation or TVXQ or New Jeans or Twice, Blackpink? I don't think I could do that. Because the way they have developed themselves in their career is very different. And I think that's where a lot of this is reflected, right? Like Doug, you mentioned, this feels a lot more pop music than K-pop. Which kind of makes sense, because if you think about his last couple of years, he's been connecting a lot with his international fans. So like, it really feels like he's been kind of like shifting his focus, or branching out, if anything, with this project here, or in the last couple of years or so. Now, I do want to point out that like I also enjoy American pop music. K-pop isn't the only genre I listen to. The Barbie soundtrack album is like one of my top albums of the year at the moment. Oh my god, what an album!
Pops.
Lots of pops. Oh man. That being said, I feel like this track in general, like, even competing with like normal pop American pop music, I don't know. It feels kind of out of time. Kind of feels out of trend, out of touch. Kind of feels bland, boring, uninteresting to me. It feels like it belongs in the Chainsmokers era, which is like 2016, 17. And even then, that felt like we were already kind of late to that kind of sound. So it feels like we're kind of repeating through trends that we kind of moved on from already. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I heard this like 2014, like sure, like maybe. But like I don't know. This is just not the kind of music I'm into right now. Feels like he's definitely creative. He's definitely going for something interesting here, and he's doing it completely by relying on the music video and not on the songs at all. I dug a little deeper into this album release, right? Because this is a pre-release for his full-length album, which is I believe called House on a Hill. And if you go on the website, it's really cool. It's like a fake spoiler alert, I guess. It's like a fake house sale post online.
Like real estate?
Right, real estate about a house on a hill that represents how unhappy someone could be, even though it's really interesting. And I think all of that's really cool. It's just a little bit of a shame that none of it seems to be reflected in the aesthetic overall in the songs. Because if that's the whole concept you're going for, I'm gonna need the music to kind of match that a little bit at the least. And that's not coming through at all. And we get this kind of like cross between Shut Up and Dance and Chainsmokers and Imagine Dragons, which is, it has its audience, it's just not me.
It's interesting because like this release is clearly in prep for the massive tour he's about to go on, right? You remember we talked about it?
Yep.
He's doing like 50 plus stops or something on his tour over the next like year or something.
World tour.
It's gonna be doing legitimate world tour. So I get that this is getting the Eric Nam fans excited. They're gonna buy more tickets. I get that. For me, I'm okay with this type of music. I kind of missed the Chainsmokers era. I was really into it, dude. Like, we go Chainsmokers into like Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, like that era, that type of music, bro. I was so into all of that at the time, right?
Which I think
was a more like, which was like the tail end of that kind of music, over there. I was really into it, so that's why I'm into this Eric Dobb sound, because I'm an old head, dude. I'm still back there, dude. It's like because that was all when I was like in college, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it was all really fun.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
The music video, I don't want to try to figure out what was going on, but it's like
it
kind of felt to me like this girl is kind of like an old flame or something like that, right?
Oh, okay.
That was the vibe I was getting, right? And then when she's like beckoning him on to dance and stuff, she's more like, like we could be cool again, that kind of deal. And he's like, nah, I'm not really feeling it, right? And I feel like this kind of dinner party is just more like him getting drunk there, thinking about what things could be. And then he like he drinks too much and he's like passes out and he's like, all right, nah, it's over. This thing's over.
Yeah, no.
That's how I kind of interpreted that. I don't know. I found it fun. The choreography was by Kyle Hanagami, who's a very popular choreographer. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'm kind of digging this Eric Dom stuff, dude. I don't know, like more than I thought I would. Where's the New Year's show to me? October 11th, New York. I'll see. How much are these tickets? I want to. We should have a discussion one day about how ridiculously expensive tickets are these days. Because
man,
it's getting absolutely out of hand, right?
How much are the tickets?
It's a sport.
I could get into this show in New York $70 for GA.
That doesn't sound bad.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Good.
I feel like if you're an Eric Nam fan, that'd be worth the price of admission. But some of these other concerts these days, I've been looking at the tickets and I'm like, what the F? Like, it's like I gotta pay $260 to sit in the shittiest seat, right? Like, what? And that's pre-fees, so I'm gonna be paying like $350 sit in the back. Like, I can't justify it. And even like, how certain artists are now streaming their concerts and their tours like that. The going rate for K-pop concerts of the high, like I'm talking, like I remember Suga and now NCT, it's $50 to buy the stream.
Oh my god, that's very expensive.
That's like the price back in the day of like a UFC or a WWE pay-per-view, and I was pirating those, like that's a lot, right?
I don't know. If it's at home, it shouldn't be that expensive in my head.
I think if they're just streaming it to make more money, it should be no more than like $20-$30, right? Like,
dude, 20-30, no, 15.
15? Maybe you just do 15 because you want eyes on the product, right? So that they get more excited.
Lower the barrier to entry. Yeah, lower that. You know what's crazy?
Eric Nam, I feel like Eric Nam's had a very interesting career, right?
Yeah.
He got popular. He posted this. He was at Boston College, posted singing on YouTube, got shipped over to Korea, right? Because people say, oh, he's pretty good. Got decently popular there. He did. We got married with Solar at one point, right?
Oh, and then my God, right?
And then you remember that? And then him and his brothers decided, you know what? Let's just take over the Western side entertainment game, right? The podcasts will do different shows, things like that. We do a podcast too, but in terms of like the professional level with actual celebrities hosting them, they've dominated the landscape for sure.
100%.
They're killing it. They're absolutely killing it. And all of those shows. I watch a lot of clips from that show with Peniel and PH1 and Ashley. That one. I see a lot of clips of that show. And I think it's really good. But like, he's absolutely killing it on a business sense too. And now he's doing this massive world tour. It's just like it's all coming together for him for sure.
Very nice.
That being said, I get that the song might sound a little dated, but I'm having a good time with it. I think it's perfectly appropriate for the summer. Okay, other songs this week. NCT Jaehyun released Horizon via the NCT Lab. Artbeat released Doobie Doobie. Ensign had a debut with Wormhole New Track. It's called Wormhole New Track, legitimately. We had Tan with Heartbeat. SF9's Huyoung had a solo debut with Drive 5. Released Vuja Day, not Deja Vu, Vuja Day. And then
Okay.
DKB released All Yours. Some people want us to react to the stuff. It's all high concept craziness that's going on.
We might
he
get
had
to
last
it on
week-
Wednesday.
Maybe you should, because I know a lot of people are into it. And that 13-minute video last week had Karina in it, so people were like freaking out about that. But we're at Spice King now. Last week, New Jeans ETA entered the Hall of Spice, so it is not eligible anymore. So Me Fast Forward came in second. Itzy Cake came in third, so we are getting a new winner this week. The new candidates are Yuri Taxi, BTS V, Love Me Again, BTS V, Rainy Days, and then Eric Nam, Don't Leave Yet. You gotta have So Me Fast Forward in first place.
Ooh.
Let's go, Doug. That
Let's
is
go.
the correct choice.
Warrant, wait, did you hit me with the results from this week? I don't think you did yet, so do that at your convenience.
There you go.
So Me, Fast Forward. I hear this song like 10 times a day, like on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, wherever I'm at. It just
dance.
comes up. It's inevitable, right? I leave my YouTube on autoplay. It always comes up after whatever I'm like watching or listening to. Just always pops up. It's like, it's everywhere. I really like this song, and I know that it might be a little bit Lady Gaga-y to a certain extent, but I'm having
Nothing
a
wrong
great
with
time.
that.
listening.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I think that Somi needs to continue on this direction and come back every 6 to 8 to 9 months like clockwork. Please, I'm begging you, Black Label.
Ooh.
Oh, you're great.
That's not happening with the Black Label. Come on.
And throw her on more variety, please. I beg you. Second place, I got Itzy Cake. That song has grown on me. I really enjoy it now. I think it's fine. It's great. And then third place, I'm gonna pick V Rainy Days. Out of the two V tracks, I like that one more. So that's what I am picking in third. And that is my chart for this week.
Wow. We are twinning today.
Really?
My chart is your chart. I have Somi in first, Fast Forward. I really like this song. I love the choreography challenges they've been going on, like the guests that do it with her. It's really fun. I don't know. I find it really catchy, really fun. So yeah.
There's a new
Out of
challenge, Anita. Chaeryeong and Ryujin. They do the Somi song with Somi, and then they do Cake back to back.
Oh.
Yeah, and everyone in the
great.
comments like, this could have been Itzy. That's writing.
Come on.
We don't talk about that.
But yes, I also have Itzy in second place, Cake. Also, I think it grew more on me. I'll say that the first couple listens, I wasn't feeling a lot of the repetition, but I think slowly I found it more endearing, and the choreography is really cool.
The TikToks, man.
Yes,
they're
so second
addictive.
place, and then I was a little torn because I liked both of the pre-releases that V had. I think they kind of go hand in hand, really, like sound wise and aesthetic. But I also preferred a little bit more Rainy Days, because I think there's a lot of stuff going on visually that's really interesting that add to this vibe that he's going for. The architecture that was like very, I don't know, like dystopian maybe, and then the furniture, the core was very like 70s. It's a lot going on, but it's cool. So, Rainy Days in third.
Man, I always feel like I'm the party pooper here.
Oh no.
Look, okay, I like both of the V songs. Rainy Day, Love Me Again, great songs. I also like Rainy Days a little more than Love Me Again. I think music-wise, it's also much more interesting. Actually, I don't know if much more is interesting. It's just I like the beat. I like what he does.
Preference, yeah.
Yeah, sounds a little more chillaxed, if you know what I mean. That's why it's first place for me. Rainy Days.
Ooh.
Love Me Again is third place. That's also a good song. Just
Wow.
those two great songs. I don't know. I'm really excited for V now. That leaves me with Fast Forward on second place. I still like the song.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All
fun.
right.
I agree with you guys. Everything you guys said about the song. It's Very funky. Very Lady Gaga-y. Very tectonic-y. I don't know. It's really good.
Also, like, Somi and all of the stuff I've seen looks really happy to be back. Like, you know, she's
it's nice.
she seems real excited that they finally let her out the dungeon.
Dude, wouldn't you be excited too? Let's be honest
dude,
here.
I'd be so excited.
Oh, man.
I'd be like, thank God. Like, the only, like, there's this one, like, Korean-based TikToker that I watch, and she's like, I was begging, like, I saw crumbs. She's like, I saw Somi in her G-Wagon in Gangnam, and I was like, so she's alive, guys.
Oh,
like,
man.
I was very excited. Gochu Gang. First place, Itzy Cake, 25 points. Second
Nice.
place, Eric Nam, Don't Leave Yet, 22.
Oh, wow.
Third place, Somi Fast Forward, 21. And fourth place was V's Love Me Again.
Very nice.
Okay, as a result, we have an interesting chart. Third place, V Rainy Days with 7. Second place, Itzy Cake with 11. And in first place, Somi Fast Forward with 14.
Yeah.
Let's
Ooh.
go, Somi.
Yes.
All right. Finally, we're at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
Yes. Starting off, we have Jungkook with 7. He won a show champion in Inkigayo, which was then a triple crown for him there. So congrats. And 9 total wins so far with that song. Great song also.
That's a great song.
That's a good song.
Yeah, it's very catchy. Following that, we have New Jeans with ETA. They won on Emp Countdown. Then we have ITZY with Cake. They won on Music Bank. And then Kwonenbi with The Flash. First one ever on the show.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
she was crying. She was crying. Shout out to MB. There was no show music core this week because the Korean government said you can't have it because we need to do our K-pop concert. So
Oh, boy.
that's why there was no show music core this week.
I think you're mixing up Music Core with Music Bank. Music Bank didn't air this week.
Is it Music Bank?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
If you want to find out why, stay till the after show and I'll tell you all about it.
There's more.
Some juicy drama.
Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, I was a little bit confused when I was researching this, so that solved everything.
I got you.
All right, we're done with the part 1, episode 248. We'll be back with the news and events from last week.
We're done.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
All right, we are back at it with part 2 of Soju Talk episode 248. All right, here's the first thing. SM artist will join Weverse in September. We kind of knew this was going to happen, right? But it is finally a thing. You remember how, if you remember, Kakao wanted SM, Hybe wanted SM. In order to get Hybe to back down, Kakao said, we will join up on Weverse side, right? That was pretty much the concessions they made. So it's going to be happening in September. It essentially means Weverse now has the monopoly over almost like all groups being on their
Everybody.
platform. Yeah. You remember
Almost
Universe,
everybody.
guys?
Oh, man.
That was,
Oh, man.
Man.
So the war is over. It's done. It's done.
All right.
Speaking of which, on August 10th, SM Entertainment announced that it would buy back shares of subsidiaries sold to Hybe by Isuman. SM Entertainment will acquire Hybe shares in SM brand marketing for 52 billion won, so a 42% stake. So that's about 50 million, 45 million USD, and Hybe shares in Dreammaker for about 16 billion won, so that's another like 12 million dollars. So at some point, Isuman was having a fire sale to like screw over the other group. So he was selling bits of SM to Hybe. And now that SM is being controlled by Kakao, they're like, we should really get those assets back. So we're having to pay a premium.
mess.
So Hybe made so much money off of this.
Oh my.
Oh.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Look,
Like,
I hope some of the profits is funding V's new solo project.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
there you go.
basically Isumon's like, hey, I want to sell you these just so it screws the competition within SM, and they're like, sure. And now like less than a year later, they're like, well, they have to buy it back now at a premium.
That is just sad.
It's ridiculous.
They should have added the
Yeah.
buyback clause.
I don't know how I feel about this like SM 3.0 because the next thing is Sunny. So if you don't know, Sonyoshide Girls' Generation Sunny is Isuman's niece, right?
Yes.
Which means that the Chris guy who's running SM is her cousin. I don't know how close they are, whatever. But Sunny shared through her personal SNS that she has left SM Entertainment. She thanked everyone at the label for the last 16 years.
Wow.
Wow.
16 years.
So it's clear what side of the family drama she falls on, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Must have been uncomfortable too.
End of an era, is it not? Right? Like,
Yeah.
dang. I remember back in the day when Girls' Generation, I was first got into Girls' Generation like 2008 or 9, something like that. And
God.
back then, people were like, the only reason Sony's in the group is because Uncle owns the company. Like, people used to say that all the
Wait,
time.
really? You guys said that
Yeah.
too? I thought that's a Korean thing. Oh my
No,
god.
dude, she was the first like big like of my memory like nepo baby that people used to talk about, right?
Oh yeah.
People
yeah.
were just like, she's kind of in the group. But then she went on Variety. She went on like Chunchun Bupe Invincible Youth, and then people liked her, and then it was fine.
Yeah,
Right? Like
yeah.
I remember this literally happening. Once she got on that show, and that show popped off a bit, everyone was like, Sunny's cool. We like her now. And all those things stopped. But yeah, it's been a long time. If you ever want to watch like Korean Variety golden era for like K-pop, like back in the day, Anita, what was that baby show that like Shiny did? That one was crazy.
Hello, baby.
Hello Baby was crazy. Invincible
Girls'
Youth
Generation did
was
too.
awesome. It was a bunch of
Yeah.
like girl idols on a farm every week. That was awesome.
Oh my goodness.
The whole We Got Married thing was insane. If we think about it,
That
these days.
was yeah.
It was insane.
Oh, they had Taeyeon and Jonghyun-don. Oh my god.
Taeyeon, Jonghyun-dong,
Yeah.
the Adam couple
Some
of Jo
interesting
Kwon and
pairs.
Gain was popped up. Victoria and Nikun was a very popular
Oh my
one as
God.
well.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and then later we had Solar and Eric Nam, things like that. Like,
Yeah.
it was-
Joy
it was
and
good.
Yuksungja too.
Yeah, and then we
Yes.
had a Taemin and Noun from A-Pink also.
Oh my
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
that
so
happened.
that show was kind of insane. That
They
was
should-
like the Variety. People used to watch idols on Variety back in the day. It was a big deal, and people became stars because of it.
god. That was a different era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, sad that Sunny's leaving. This happened last week as well. Baekhyun revealed that he plans to establish a company with his friend Casper to manage his solo endeavors while also continuing to be active in the group under SM Entertainment. So I first thought when I saw this thing Casper, I thought it was that girl rapper Casper from
Oh.
like 10 years ago.
Oh my
It
God.
is not though.
No.
Casper is a choreographer at SM.
yes.
It's a guy.
I know. Yes.
Yeah.
I just know who he is.
Be ambitious, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was announced, and then SM released a statement afterwards stating that the existing exclusive contract has not been terminated. It is until January next year. His solo album has also been prepared with the goal of releasing it within the year. So it really feels like Baekhyun's like, I ain't re-signing unless it's just with EXO. We
Right.
gotta release this album because it's like for both of us it financially makes sense to release the album before I leave. And then I'm dipping in January to start my own thing. That's what this all feels like to me.
The solo album's probably written into his contract as well, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really feels like he's like, all right, we'll release the solo album, then I'll dip and make my own company, but I will still do the EXO stuff if that's what you guys want.
I don't know. It feels like he's
Alright.
also jumping ship here.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, a little bit of trigger warning. This is like crazy stalker news. So if you don't want to hear it, fast forward like a couple minutes. But SM Entertainment has suffered a series of death threats recently towards their artists, and recently a man in his 20s who posted some of the threats was arrested. So the guy said he planned to kill 9 SM employees, and he specifically said, "I'm going to stalk the building at Little Forest, is where SM moved recently, like a couple years ago, and I am going to kill specifically SM Entertainment employees." And the reason is because he's been a fan of an SM girl group for over 10 years, so it's probably Girls' Generation. and he was angry that the member in that group did not accept his feelings via DMs.
Oh my god.
What the heck?
So
It's crazy.
Delulu.
yeah, so this guy got arrested, and then
Delulu.
so that's one incident. And then a couple weeks ago, maybe a week or two, there's also been like death threats against Espo Winter specifically for some reason.
Man, why do people do this?
Yeah.
Not fun.
Ugh,
Not
that's
funny
so
at all.
stupid.
But this first one, he was like, "I'm going to stalk the little forest area for SM employees."
But
That's-
I'm glad
that's what
he was arrested, detained, taken seriously.
To add a little bit of context around this does come at the tail end of a recent trend in Korean society. Again, more trigger warning. Where a lot of people have posted online that they are going to randomly go stab people. And they would say they would. Some people would actually do it. Some people just would tell us they're bluffing. But there's been an uptick of people trying to stab other people, kill each other after, saying it online. This does, I feel like it's kind of influenced by that. Probably a combination of things. Just something to think about. I don't know what's going on here. We're going through some rough times over there.
It's insane. Try to remain, for everyone at home, obviously none of you are this, I hope none of you are this crazy, but you have to
Please no.
maintain, with everything in life, you have to maintain perspective and a healthy view on what's going on, right? If you ever find yourself getting too involved in K-pop, or you spend all day looking up your favorite idol and you just keep refreshing their hashtags, like you need to have some perspective on that, right? If that's healthy or not, whether you can handle it or not. I just hope that everyone has good mental health. I wish everyone the best. I wish that everyone has perspective in what they're doing.
Yes.
Yes, I
Okay.
hope so too.
Next thing. So we're moving on. B-Lift Lab, home to Enhypen, will fully be acquired by Hybe following an agreement between Hybe and CJ E&M for Hybe to purchase the remaining 51.5% of ownership. So B-Lift Lab was founded in 2018 as a joint venture between Hybe and CJ E&M. And as you know, that is pretty much how they made Enhypen on Island 1, right? And now CJ owns the Island property, and Island is going to have season 2, but it is completely unrelated to Big Hit and Hype and all that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they're gonna have Island 2, but unlike the season 1, which was with Hybe and Bang PD was there, this one is completely unrelated to Hybe, and they are having Teddy as the main producer this time.
Right.
And instead, B-Lift Lab is focusing on Are You Next in the upcoming
Are You
months,
Next and Hypen pretty much are their main focus.
Right.
So pretty much there's just been a separation between CJ and Hype.
Interesting.
I don't know what this means, but it is what it is. I'm excited to see Teddy on Island too. He's a very secretive guy, I'm gonna watch. I'm sure there's gonna be so many memes about Teddy all over the place. All right, next thing. Ravi was sentenced, y'all, for the military thing.
Oh.
He was sentenced to 2 years probation and 120 hours of community service. Whereas Nafla, the rapper, was sentenced to 1 year in prison for violations of the Military Service Act. So, what I read a little bit about this. People think Ravi was sentenced to probation because he pretty much did these things after he was already in the military, right? Like he had signed up for the military and was just trying to get out of it. Whereas Nafla kind of just did this before he even was going to the military. He was trying to get out of it. And there's a rumor that Ravi might have to restart his military service.
Oh my.
So he would be in there a total of over 3 years.
Oh boy.
Why go through all that and then you end up more time?
I was thinking recently that all of the guys who signed up for military late 2019 before COVID had like the best time to do gunde, Like obviously they wouldn't have known, but if you did your military service during COVID when nothing was happening in the K-pop sphere anyway,
Guess, yeah.
you had the no one lost any traction then, right? But yeah, he might have to go for like 3 years plus. It's sort of like what happened to Psy, where he had to essentially do his military like twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's and I saw people talking about Ravi and like they think that he did it because he was starting the new, like he had like 3 new companies going, right? And he like prioritized that over actually just serving the military,
But
finishing it
I
up quick.
mean,
Big mistake though. Yeah.
come on.
Okay, next thing, MLD Entertainment. They're announcing a new group. People think
What?
it's called. So this is they have this like crazy like image with a QR code. People think the group is called New ID. That's what they think it's called.
Okay.
All I'm saying about MLD Entertainment is that they should turn the L into an I and just call themselves Mid Entertainment.
no!
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Wow.
Shots fired.
But yeah, I really don't trust anything that comes out of MLD. Like,
It hasn't been a great track
no,
record.
they need to redeem themselves to me. Like, I think they're terrible.
Who is actually under MLD right now? Lapillus?
It was Lapillus, and then obviously Momoland was.
Is Momoland's not around anymore though, are they?
Not
I don't know.
anymore, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe
no.
not officially, but
Momoland's officially
In
over as of
essence.
January 27,
Yeah.
2023. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Cheetah. Oh yeah, Cheetah signed this year for some reason.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like, is that a good sign?
I don't know. They also have TNF,
don't
which is a
know.
smaller boy group.
Interesting. There is a group coming up in the Philippines that is currently codenamed MLD New Boys. Maybe that's what this might be.
Oh,
Maybe,
Maybe.
based on these names, we got Thad.
Oh yeah.
Wilson,
Josh.
L.
Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
Yep.
that would make more sense.
This is a group that is debuting through an ABS CBN show called The Dreammaker. Apparently. There you go.
Good luck, guys. Good luck. Good luck. Godspeed.
Best of luck, yeah.
Okay, so Queendom Puzzle changed the name from L's U plus P, so L's up to they just got rid of the plus sign. Which honestly, this is still shit, but it's better. Right? Like, the plus sign was horrendous. Now we're just bad.
legible, yeah.
It's still shit, but better. Yeah. No, I get that.
I don't get why you would name like your L's up. You know, like,
Ellis up. Ellis
I
up.
don't know.
L's
I
up.
feel like I like some like Antoine Griezmann doing the Fortnite L dance, dude. Whenever I think about this group, but yeah, that's what they're doing there.
Okay.
Next one. Oh wait, we already talked about this. Yeah, I had this in here. This was the BTS V his album thing, so we already
Okay.
talked about that.
Okay.
Nice.
Next one is DSP confirmed that Hoyoungji is preparing a solo debut in September.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow.
been a
Yo, all
while.
of these older, like, more variety people these days, like Sandra Park and Hoyoungji, are getting solo debuts all of a sudden.
Oh my God.
It's
Good for them.
interesting. Yeah. I always liked Hoyoungji, and she kind of got the short end of the stick with, like, the last couple releases of Card, I felt.
Yeah.
I always thought she was funny on TV.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Next thing. Jellyfish renamed the group, guys. So you remember it was okay. The reason they renamed it, you remember we were trying to figure out how to. I was calling the group BLT for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
The
Blip
reason they
or
changed it, it
blip?
sounded too much like a feminine part. That's why they changed it.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to refer to the other episode, but I don't think you guys got it.
So I think I don't even know how to pronounce this, but the group it's like EVNNE. So
So I looked into it. It's called Even.
Eveny.
even.
Even.
Man, that's
Okay.
kind of terrible too. So it's evenings, newest etolls, etoile. I don't know what is it in French. I don't know what.
Yeah, that means star. Stars.
Yeah,
Newest
this is
stars.
it's bad. But you know, Jonghyun, Jihu, Hanbin, Seungwon, Jonghyun, Yunseo, and Keita from Boys Planet are in that group. So.
All right.
All right.
Jellyfish though, okay.
Hey, you never know. Very,
Anita.
very still around.
I have some great news for you because you are
Oh.
into a lot of these trainees. Hey,
Okay.
we are having another boy group from Boys Planet.
Oh.
YY
another
Entertainment will be debuting a new boy group called TOZ, consisting of Boys Planet contestants Anthony, Haruto, Yuto, and Takuto. Toyonaga Takuto. is gonna be in it.
Takuto.
So they got all the Japanese kids, and I
Wait,
thought Haruto. I thought like the show was his last stand, dude. But nah, they're debuting.
I'm so
him.
glad he's there. I was
Right?
really sad for him.
He's
He
alive.
said like
talented.
he I remember him saying like my parents said like this is my last shot, Boys Planet,
Aw.
and all that. He was a college student. But no, they're gonna debut. They will be active back and forth between Japan and Korea based on a solid fan base.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of exciting. I like
See
this
how it
Anthony
goes.
kid. It just never really worked out for him on the show though. He was pretty highly
Yeah.
rated for a while too. So that one happened there. And then finally, so we were like, what's happening to Cypher? Because like Keita's gonna be in
Keita,
the other
yeah.
group, right? So Tan, Tag, Doan, and One are leaving Cypher. Meanwhile, Hyunbin, Hui, and Keita plan to continue their individual activities and reorganize the group. So essentially, Rain gave up on the group, guys.
Oh
like,
man.
yeah.
Oh no.
Why would you leave these people? Come on.
Yeah, so Cypher's pretty much done, which is pretty sad. 'Cause I thought they had a decent amount of potential. Next week, though, because that is all the news, Daisy.
Yes.
This next group, I always have to Google the name.
Adia?
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 Yeah, so we got Stacy, Adia, Triple S Love Lucian unit debut, Lucy, Sorn, Twice Geo solo debut,
Oh my god.
Espa, Primrose, Wang Jihao from Boys Plan is making a solo debut under the name
Oh.
Levy, I believe.
Oh.
Akmu and Vanner are all coming back.
That's kind of
Alright.
stacked.
That's
Kinda
a lot of
stacked.
good.
At the
lot of
minimum, right?
names there.
Geo, Stacy, Espa. Like, we have to, right?
Oh man, it's
Yeah.
gonna be packed.
Yeah. Probably
Ah.
either one of Triple S or Akmu, I imagine.
Yeah, so it's all pretty exciting. Yeah, that ends part 2 of Soju Talk episode 248. After the break, we're going to do our breakdown of the 25th World Scout Jamboree in Korea and all the BS that came along with it. We'll see you guys
Oh my
then.
God.
3, 2, 1.
And here's an extra special shout out to all of our Fiesta Patreons on patreon.com. Bagel, Charles, Cotton Ball, Del Monic, Ellie, Irvtron, Gogu Mama, Honey Pools, Yokab, Liam's Games and Toys, Luke Daniel, NJ Parks, Tier, Siu Sumi. And thank you for joining Soju Talk, your weekly shot of K-pop.
And special thanks to our Discord server mods, Jacob, K-Music Erday, Koala, Max, No Bias Luna, Tuggles, and Wolf297.
All right, we are in the after hours and we're going to talk about the K-pop Jamboree concert, right?
The Jamboree. Do you guys know what the Jamboree is? What a Jamboree is?
All I know
Yeah?
was that like a month ago on Running Man, they filmed the first half of their episode at a giant campsite, and they said there was going to be like a massive Boy Scout convention thing going on. And I was
Ooh.
like, oh, cool. And then when the news article started to come out, I was like, is that the same one? There's no way. And it was. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh man, typical Running Man, foreshadowing the troubles of reality. All right, I didn't actually know what a jamboree is. I wasn't a scout or anything growing up, so I had
Neither
to
was
actually look into it, right? Okay, so let's start with the context. What is the World Scout Jamboree? It's the 25th World Scout Jamboree this year. It's happening in Korea. It is happening between August 1st to 12th. So officially, right now it's over. This year, they held it at the Saemangum Dam campsite. For context, this used to be mud flat. And in the last 10 or so years, they've been converting it into like a dam / man-made land / seawall kind of thing. Kind of like Netherlands. We're reclaiming land back
Okay,
from the ocean.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is joining? Well, 43,232 scouts from all over the world, aged 14 to 17, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, all sorts of scouts, 158 countries.
God damn.
They all showed
A
up.
lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
I didn't realize that this was this like 2 weeks basically. That's crazy.
I know. It sounds like a really big one in a lifetime event for these scouts.
This is supposed to be a core memory for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I ended up talking to one of my high school mates, who hasn't been, but he told me it's like a really highly valued thing for people who do go. You go and you talk to other people from like all over the world. You share memories, you trade stories, trade these badges, learn how to do things together.
That's fun.
You know, it's basically super summer camp for trade.
Yeah.
For scouts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at the cost though, Warren. How much does it cost to do this?
The total budget for the 25th World Scout Jamboree was 108 billion Korean won. That's 80 million
Ooh.
US dollars.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
My God.
Boy. Dude, that better be
This
some
should be baller, right? On paper. This
Dude.
should be the
luxury ass jamboree. That's what it better be.
bro. If I'm like 15 years old and I get to go to a foreign country for 2 weeks and hang out with other people who have the same interests as me, this should be amazing. On
I know.
paper, right?
I know.
Well, that'd be so cool.
Well, I mean, you know, luckily it's not just public taxes that are paying for this thing, because, you know, they're kids. You gotta
Yeah, people gotta pay.
people gotta pay. So the participants pay about $6,100.
Damn.
And this would cover the participation, travel to and from USA to Korea. So this is from the USA perspective. This covers the pre-tour, all the meals during the travel. There's like a
Okay,
tour in
that's
Korea, transportation around Korea, some insurance, health support, some swag, you know, it's like merchandise, some contingency support, all that kind of thing. So like
This
it's
is a big deal. They spend a lot of money per
yeah,
person. Then.
it's an all-inclusive event. Now, do you know what was also an all-inclusive event and kind of went into into like a fuckfest, a shit show?
This thing.
Oh.
Thing.
Fire Fest.
Yeah, remember
Fire
Fire Festival, guys? It's
Yeah.
kind of similar. So,
Oh no.
here's a list of all the things that went poorly. If I were to actually go into
List.
all of these, we're gonna spend like
My
3
God.
hours. We're not gonna do it.
There's so much.
There's so much. To give you a quick summary of all the issues, there was extreme heat, lack of medical support. The food was rotten. There was no clean water.
my God.
Toilets aren't working. Turns out the campsite is a tidal flat and it's just water everywhere. There was a dude in the woman's shower. COVID happened. There were some venomous bugs. And then a typhoon came along and just blew everything out.
Oh my God.
On top of that, there was no planning. The budget was disappearing. The government resources were being misallocated. There was media censorship, like press censorship. And then there were politicians saying that they are scouts. So, you know, they know how to make it in extreme conditions and they're fine.
You know how to survive.
They know how to survive.
What?
Okay, that's a lot of things. I'm not going to go into any of that because at the end of the day, we're a K-pop podcast. And I'm going to focus on the K-pop concert.
The I'm sorry for everything that happened concert, essentially, right?
Essentially, yes.
So this concert was not planned
Aw.
before this thing started.
Well, actually, it was.
Okay, there was going to be a concert.
Let's start from the very beginning, right?
Okay.
Beginning of August. They were like, oh, August 6th, Sunday, 9:40 p.m. local time. We're going to do a K-pop super live. Everyone's going to be there, like IZ*ONE, Zero Base One, MX, Stacy, P1 Harmony.
Whoa.
No,
big
Ive, not
names.
IZ*ONE. Ive.
Oh, sorry, Ive and Zero Base One.
Ive, Zero Base One, NMIX, Stacy, P1 Harmony, and Team Very Very, Icheon, Aiki, right? Nature,
Ooh.
ATBO, and Zykers. So, you know, decent couple headliners, a couple mid tiers, you know? Yeah.
That's a pretty. That sounds good
Crowd?
to me.
Yeah.
Now, why does a K-pop concert need to be at a World Scout Jamboree? I don't know. I don't quite make the.
I think you do something when you're host, because I see this event as big as it is. Like, it's the World Cup, Olympics of Scouts. They're gonna have a concert. You know, I like the World Cup. They have Jungkook singing. I could see that.
All right. Okay. You know what? Fair. That's a good point. So, you know, it was supposed to happen in the middle of the whole Jamboree situation, August 6th. Except the day before the scheduled date, the government is like, I don't know, never mind. Doug, why don't you read me the translation of the article?
Okay, the 2023 how do I pronounce this?
Saemangum.
Saemangum World Scout Jamboree Organizing Committee is reportedly considering changing the schedule of the K-pop Super Live. According to Yonhap news coverage on the 5th, the organizing committee is discussing changing the schedule of the K-pop Super Live, which was supposed to be held at the outdoor special stage in Buwangun, Jeollabuk-do from 8 p.m. on the 6th. So the day before, they're like, "Oh, you gotta reorganize this real quick."
They started reorganizing it the day before. And to this day, I want you to keep this in your mind. To this day, we don't know why they did that.
Okay.
They just gave out a vague reason of due to scheduling concerns. We don't know why they did all this. So, okay. When you reorganize something, that means redoing your whole schedule. So, originally, right, August 6th, it was supposed to happen on the Saemangum Jamboree outdoor stage. They're like, you know what? We can't do that anymore because there's a typhoon coming. Remember I mentioned the typhoon coming at the end of this?
You did.
Yes.
Yeah. So they were like, okay, you know what? Why don't we do it at like an actual stadium, the Jeonju World Cup Stadium on the 11th?
Yep.
Let's push it back a little bit.
That holds a soccer team.
Yeah. Now, that does happen to be the day of the FA Cup semifinals for K-League, but sure, you know what? Whatever, fuck it. I don't care about soccer. We're just going to do it, yeah? Less than 24 hours after, they cancel all the super soccer games. They go, you know what? We're just going to do it in Seoul, in the Seoul World Cup Stadium, same day. Okay. Fuck it. Why not? You know what I mean?
Just switch venues.
within a 24-hour period, they rescheduled their venue twice.
Oh my god.
That's a mess. That's a huge mess if you ask me. Now, because I'm a soccer fan, there's a whole nother side to this where they were very disrespectful to K-League and soccer fans, but that's a whole nother story for a different time. What you need to pay attention to right now is that if I'm an artist that was set to perform at this thing, I'm confused. I don't know what I'm doing.
I might have other plans on the 11th, right?
Your venue changed.
Like Music Bank, that was set to happen on August 11th. Now, Music Bank, that was set to air on August 11th, randomly gets canceled 4 days before the concert happens. And an article drops saying the Music Bank production team is to produce the Jamboree K-pop concert.
They just threw it on them. They're like, "You guys do it. Do it."
Wow.
The original production team was replaced with the Music Bank production team led by Hwang Min-gyu. It just happened. That's why Music Bank didn't air.
They just switched.
They just swapped it out. So clearly, something has not gone right. That's not the only thing that gets impacted by this, because there's also an actual festival happening that weekend, like an hour away from the campsite, called Jeonju Ultra Music Festival.
Ultra, yeah.
Yeah. The headliner for 11th is Oh My Girl, Dreamcatcher, Billy, B.I., One Us, Extraordinary Heroes, Itaeon. Like, K-pop
Itaeon's on both.
I
He's
know.
on both.
There's an overlap here. Now, this was really funny because the producer of that show publicly said in his Facebook, he said this, right? And I quote, "This year, JUMF Jump even delayed the event date and time to not overlap with the Saemangum Jamboree. This afternoon on the 6th, I got a call from the Jamboree's host network. They were asking for my understanding since the headliner of the Friday's festival was to appear at the Jamboree closing ceremony K-pop concert in Jeonju an hour before on the same day."
So they basically poached Oh My Girl, and they're like, "Oh My Girl is going to have to do it at the Jamboree, guys. I'm sorry."
Yeah, they're
Deal
like,
with it.
yeah, we're just going to take her F off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So clearly he was not happy. What ended up happening, the lineup for JUMF went with the lineup they had. They somehow figured all of that out. Icheon, even though she was double booked, she ended up performing at Jeonju Ultra Music Festival.
Okay.
The fact, however,
Okay.
that the staff showed up and they were like, "We're just gonna take your people," that's, I don't know.
That's not good.
That's not a good look. All right, move on. 3 days before the concert. So remember I said the typhoon's coming?
Yeah, it was coming. Typhoon.
Yeah, so typhoons, it's still coming, right? So what ended up happening is people started leaving the the campsite a little early. There was an article from ABC News that reads, tens of thousands of young scouts to evacuate World Jamboree in South Korea as a storm canoe looms. And in these pictures,
they were like, I saw images of this where they were like renting out hotel ballrooms and things all over Seoul to house these poor kids, right, and things like that. They were renting out. They were like seizing hotel rooms and things like that. Yeah, throughout the city. It
was really funny because like in certain universities, like they have their like own like college online communities, right? And they were like saying stuff like, oh, like we randomly have this little kid from like Portugal in our dorm now, and he's gonna stay here for the next 3 days with us.
Oh my god.
They were just putting them in to college dorms where people are still
college
there.
Dorms, hotel rooms, like hotel ballrooms. I heard like they were renting every single big space possible.
Yeah,
to house these people.
It was really ironic because the Korean kids got stuck in a little gym, like a big gym, and they were just camping out.
Oh,
like they are, I don't know, like they're on the run or something. Anyways, so keep that in mind. What I'm trying to say is all these scouts, they were there in Taemangun, but now they're all over the country. All over.
Oh.
They're touring Korea. They're, I don't know, doing Gyeongbokgung, or they're going to Jeju-do or Busan. I don't know, whatever the hell they're doing. To this date, there's not an organized information about what exactly happened. There's a lot more going on there. Now, here's a fun bit of news that happened at the same time.
I heard about this one.
Yeah. From Congressman Song Il-jong. Now, I do want to note, this is just one congressman. This does not reflect the opinion of the entire party, nor the government. But Doug, why don't you read me some of his lovely quotes?
So he said, the Ministry of Defense must take all actions necessary to ensure that BTS, who are currently serving in the military, participates in the K-pop concert on the 11th to maintain national dignity. So I heard about this. Anita, they were going to pull out the BTS kids from the military to perform at this in order to save face.
Oh my god!
Like that was a consideration that
that was the saving.
Yeah, they said we can save this if we get BTS to perform because everyone would be happy then.
Yep. That's not how it ends though, because so after that, the Korean army put out an official press release saying, "Fuck that." They're like, no, stop doing that. That's very not respectful. The day after that happened, this congressman went on a Korean radio show and he said these quotes.
I am aware of the angry response, but the 43,000 kids who visited Korea from all over the world, and I believe that it is because they came because of Korea's dynamicness, mysteriousness, and their love of K-pop. The congressman that proposed the 20th and 21st Amendment in regards to BTS's military exemption, that's actually me. Similarly, when Moon was in office, he took them around to the UN and the White House. So he's basically saying, I'm the guy who wanted them to be exempt anyway. And you know what? Like, y'all shouldn't be angry about it because, when Moon was the president, he dragged them all over the place too. Right? That's essentially what he's saying.
Essentially.
Oh, man.
There's a lot to unpack here in that little quote. In these series of little quotes. There's the whole interview is obviously way longer. Yeah. It was like a whole hour show. First of all, former President Moon didn't take BTS anywhere. They went on their own to UN and White House because they were officially invited on their own
or whatever.
The first quote was also it felt very disrespectful toward the whole jamboree in my head. Because mind you, these kids, they're not here on a Korean tour. They're here for the World Jamboree. Yeah,
yeah.
It's like saying, "Ooh, people came to compete at the Pyeongchang Olympics because they love BTS."
The Pyongyang Olympics would be lit. No one's coming back, dude. Next Olympics, North Korea has the best team.
North Korea and everything.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Now he eventually did back off and apologize, but
oh my god.
Here's the thing. I think this is a bit of a slice of the perspective into the way people are approaching this. Lots of ignorant, disrespectful perspectives around everything. K-pop, the jamboree.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anita, you got any thoughts?
I'm just, I guess I'm still thinking about that quote, right, where he thinks that or at least at that moment when he was doing that interview, he was saying that the reason they were in the country, right, was because of K-pop and like other cultural aspects, which, you know, maybe that was some aspect of it, but like the essence was the jamboree, like the scouts, the organization. Like it just happened to be hosted by Korea, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So, this is so frustrating.
If
Like,
this event,
I feel like the K-pop and the Korea was like the icing on the cake. It's like, I don't know if
Right,
I'm gonna go,
it's
but it's
just
in
an
Korea.
added
I'll
on.
definitely go there. But it's not the main. I'm gonna go because I like K-pop. I would like $6,000 for 12 days is a lot of money. You know,
that's 500 a day.
That's just expensive to just go for a week.
I know. I mean, at the end of the day, the Ministry of Defense did put out an official statement saying we can't do that.
Good.
They're just like, we can't do that. Also, not
Hype,
all of
hype should have said, "Hey, we'll do the jamboree if you exempt them all." That's what Hype should have said. It should have said, "We'll do the jamboree if you fully exempt all 7."
well, the one who proposed it, that's actually me.
Could you imagine if Hype said that to them? That'd be hilarious.
No, this is not the last time you hear from Hype. We'll get more of that. I do want to move on in the interest of time, but I think
keep going.
it is stupid. Okay. 2 days before the Super Live, K-pop Super Live, they finally confirmed the lineup. 2 days before the show happens, they're like, "This is our lineup." And one of the original parts of the lineup
was Ive,
right? Now, I've confirmed on the 9th that they are unable to participate on the Super Live due to other pre-scheduled activities.
Yeah, because they moved the concert to a date that they weren't expecting.
Yeah, they were probably doing other things that day. They're a busy group. A day later, they say, never mind. I voluntarily adjusted their schedule to keep their promise of appearing. Voluntarily.
Okay, sure.
Voluntarily. Now, coincidentally, ironically, the Financial Supervisory Service did a search and seizure of the Kakao founder Kim Bum-soo's office, which happened to be the parent company to Starship Entertainment, IVE's agency.
So in between those two things that happened?
That was that night of the 9th.
Oh my god.
Now. Because we have been following the Kakao situation, we know that there's a lot more context to this. But like the
timing is interesting.
I know.
What?
I mean, I don't know. From Ive's perspective or Starship's perspective, why would they need to do this? You know what I mean? Like, just
They
said
don't.
something. They don't.
They don't, but
But they voluntarily adjusted their schedule.
they volunteered.
The government like very clearly said they emphasized voluntarily. It's become a bit of a meme. Moving on. That's not the only group that was kind of butchered by this schedule, right? Mamamoo was a new artist that is joining the lineup. Now Solar on her bubble, she says, "Ooh, Mamamoo will be at the jamboree. LOL. We have been called upon." And yes, this is Mamamoo, not Mamamoo Plus. I didn't think this could happen.
Oh, you know how Mamamoo's kind of in flux right now? Where like, are they together? Or are they not? The government said, "Nah, y'all are doing this.
Y'all are a group.
Y'all are a group, whether you like it or not." Right now.
It's also worth noting that that day was the Mamamoo Plus fan sign event. Obviously, that's been canceled or delayed. I'm not sure exactly which, but
Dang.
also it's worth noting that she says that she's been called upon, like by the nation. It's worded in like, "Ooh, I've been drafted.
It is my duty.
It is my national duty."
The entire K-pop concert is online. It's on KBS World for free. The whole thing, you can watch it. It's 2 hours long. Yo, in 2 days, ITZY was able to get scout outfits made. That's impressive. It's scout outfits, dude, on their stage.
Honestly, my biggest takeaway with this was that the government is stupid. The other takeaway is that this industry, why are they so capable?
I know.
Okay, let's move on. So that was 2 days before. 1 day before the concert happens. This is August 10th. I know the article's from the 11th. There was another article that popped up regarding Hybe and Kakao. Doug, why don't you read me the article?
Me? Who?
Anita, why don't you read it this time, actually?
Should I start with the headline right there?
Yeah, sure.
Hybe to donate 800 million worth of BTS photo cards and Kakao to donate 1 billion worth of Kakao merchandise. Ministry says it's, quote, voluntary. Wow. Park Bo-kyun, the Minister of Culture, Sports, and Tourism, said the K-pop Super Live concert will be a fancy and intense finale to the 2023 Jamboree. He added, the concert Remember Kit souvenir consists of goods that can help scouts keep their memories of Korea and K-culture. He also added, Kakao Friends character merchandise and BTS photo cards were voluntarily prepared by Kakao and Hybe for the participating scout members, respectively.
Emphasis on voluntarily?
They told them we need photo cards now.
Wow.
That's insane.
Um,
They basically said, give us $1 million of your goods. We need it to hand out to people.
Again, I mean, if the government asked for it, why do scouts need BTS photo cards? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is that as good as a patch or a badge? I don't think so, but maybe you can put it on your... I don't know.
It's amazing how the government puts this much pressure on the K-pop scene and they do it and it works. Like they're able to do a good concert. It's insane.
Oh, no, Doug, what are you saying? It's all voluntary. That's what it is.
I know it's all voluntary.
It's all voluntary.
It's insane how they were able to make this happen.
All right. Well, just in case you weren't convinced by how well it's going, they canceled the rehearsal day before the whole thing.
Okay, no rehearsal because of the typhoon.
The typhoon's coming,
Rehearsal.
which begs the question. If we go back to the picture of the stadium, it's an outdoor stadium. It's open. A typhoon's coming. Is it a good idea to have an outdoor concert in the middle of a typhoon? I don't know. It just kind of makes you think. But anyways, because of that, no rehearsal.
Oh my God.
Mind you,
That's so stressful.
they built the stage, did all the audio check, everything in the span of like 2-3 days. I'm not getting any sleep if I'm working there.
Oh no.
No.
Of course not.
No. All right. Okay. I think that's two more things before we actually get to the day of the concert. So they were like, oh, well, I guess cancel. August 10th. Rehearsals canceled. That's what the report said. The government put out a report saying, oh, well, no. There was actually never supposed to be a rehearsal on the 10th. We're just gonna have one single round of rehearsals on the 11th. I'm talking
No.
dry rehearsal, audio check, light effect check, everything just
mess.
one go. Anita, Doug, and I used to be a performance club
I'm thinking
in
about
school.
that.
Dude, we used to do 2 at least, and we were a student organization of 30 feckers.
We were small compared to this. And it was stressful.
It was stressful.
So stressful.
Bro, one rehearsal? That's a big middle finger to your ass. Like, I don't know, like...
You've been saying unhinged things today.
I'm just saying. It's a big middle finger from the government, right?
The first thing you called this was a fuck fest.
It's a fuckfest and a shit show. That's what it is. All right. Okay. All right. One more thing before we actually move on to the day of the concert, right? There's this guy on YouTube called the K-pop idol trainer In Ji-young. He is, I believe, a former. He works in the industry as a caster / choreographer. But there's a little. He's a little bit of a take everything what he says with a little bit of grain of salt because the sources are unclear. He claimed in a recent video the day before the concert, he said that the labels were essentially forced to redo their entire schedules to accommodate the event. That includes the artists, A&R, people working at the company, all that.
Mm-hmm.
And he also claimed that the government threatened these companies with tax investigations if they didn't cooperate.
Oh.
again, take it with a little bit of grain of salt. But if you think about Cacao and Ive,
That's suspicious.
that's suspicious. Also, he left a comment on his video saying, I asked around the entertainment companies, and turns out the talks about the performance fees haven't even begun yet. LOL. K-pop idols that perform without knowing how much they get paid? I've never seen such a thing.
Well, it was voluntary.
Voluntary. Completely voluntary.
Oh my god. Such a headache here. Wow.
Keep it moving. Let's go.
All right.
Keep
So
going.
I mean, it's a good show so far, right? D-Day. It's happening. Here we go. All right. Here's what happened that day. All right. So rehearsal. They did rehearsal during the day of, but it rained so hard they had to put up a little tent on the stage.
Oh my god.
And they were rehearsing with umbrellas on top of them. In terms of the actual Jamboree participants, the TLDR here is that yes, kids came up all the way to Seoul to watch the performance and the closing ceremony for the Jamboree. Except, like I mentioned earlier, they're located at the moment all over the country. In the case of people from Indonesia, Egypt, and Portugal, they drove up from Jeollabuk-do all the way to Seoul to watch this damn thing, and then drove all the way back to stay the night, and then drove all the way back up to Incheon the night after.
Oh my god.
Mind you, that's a 7-hour drive each way. I don't know why they had to do it on Seoul. Just, makes you question all these things. Right. Actual show happened. Yuna Kong Myung-hae was the MC. This was also not the original lineup for the MC. The original lineup was different. They swapped it out last minute, like everything else.
Oh my god.
It was raining. It kind of
That
stopped.
happens.
It
That
happens.
happens.
It wasn't bad. It was just kind of raining. Luckily, nothing went awfully. Nothing actually happened except somebody.
It's fully online in like I think it's in like 1080p. It looks great.
Yeah.
It looks like the end like an end of the year concert more or less.
Wow.
We'll be honest, the audio sounds kind of butchered and the lights aren't as interesting. But I mean, for the time span they had, I'm sure they did the best they can, right? Now, mind you, this was also the closing ceremony. So a lot of kids who weren't interested in K-pop were also at the concert.
Oh my.
Some of them had fun.
As it could be, yeah.
Some of them didn't. I personally like this image on the bottom left here with the happy girl and the angry little boy. Just keep in mind this isn't a K-pop thing. It was meant to be a scout thing.
Yeah.
And then one more thing at the end, they performed balloons.
EPXQ?
At the end of the show, like it was like an all performer end of the show thing. Hey, let's sing balloons.
End song. Okay.
And then on the broadcast it said balloons, original song by TVXQ, performed by all performers. Except balloons it was by TVXQ, but they remade it from Five Fingers. That's a whole different. Like TVXQ
okay.
Balloons is a remake of Five Fingers Balloons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the original writer was very unhappy. Again, just adding on to the damage here. It is really interesting because if you listen to the arrangement, I think they were going after the TVXQ version. I think it's pretty clear. But it's giving the media more meat to kind of digest on.
I think this one's a bit of a stretch, to be fair.
A little bit.
I think it's a stretch.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what happened.
Ooh.
Now we're actually done with the concert. People went back home, hopefully, by the end of all this.
My only question is, isn't there an investigation into where the money went for this, more or less, right?
It will have to happen. We don't have details on what's going to happen from here on.
What was 80 billion? 80? How much was it?
$80 million.
Dude, way more
$80
money.
million.
Yeah, there are already reports of the organization committee coming to watch Tottenham games using that budget. Now the organization committee was composed of the Women Family Ministry, and then the Jeollabuk-do Ministry, and then the Culture, Physical I don't know how to say these things. It's a cross between several ministries and the local ministry, local government. So it's gonna be a complicated situation. Obviously, everybody's gonna say it's not my fault. It was planned by the left wing and it is now executed by the right wing. So everyone's gonna be like, it's not my fault.
Per usual.
Per usual. And this also allows us to kind of talk about it on the show because inherently this is everybody kind of fucked up kind of situation. If you're involved, I'm not sure if I did anything wrong, but I mean, look at.
And this new president's had to deal with the ET1 stuff and this like in like a year of each other, right? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think it kind of says something about Korea's crowd control situation. Not good is what I'll say.
Unfortunate overall, but you know, props to the
Yeah.
K-pop industry for picking up the government slack once again, even though they were threatened with tax investigations. Yes.
Yeah, I do think it kind of reveals how the Korean government sees the K-pop industry.
Oh yeah.
I realize that every time they say something positive about us, we're kind of excited for the recognition, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like this kind of reveals.
It's crazy that they use K-pop as the crutch to alleviate some of the other problems, but then they still view K-pop as kind of this niche weird thing at the same time when it's not like useful, right?
Yeah.
So
Make up your mind. What is it?
okay. Thank you for making this summary, Warren. I feel like I understand the K-pop side more. I'm gonna go watch the
Oh, yeah.
concerts today or tomorrow.
Yeah,
when I have
concert's
time.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, these are nice videos. I'm excited to watch this.
It's a 3-hour party. That part's fine. It's kind of funny watching all the unhappy audience members in the middle.
For sure,
Aw.
for sure. Okay, this has been Soju Talk, your weekly shot at K-pop. You know, next week we're gonna cover like Aespa Geo, like
Oh my god.
Stacy.
Oh my god.
Stacy girls,
Stacey.
it's going down.
Stacy Girls is going down.
All right, we'll see you guys then, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.